evening. Tonight, Ginger Nelson put on quite the spectacle for her annual State of the City address. But her bread and circus distractions can't make us forget the real issues that all of us in Amarillo are facing. And while Ginger Nelson fiddles, Amarillo burns. She talks a lot about the future, but just look at our present. Trash is overflowing in dumpsters across the city. We're dealing with a plague of violent crime, and all Ginger Nelson can think to do to solve that is to beg our governor to please take away our God-given and constitutionally protected right to defend ourselves. Ginger Nelson also talked a lot about growth. But the one thing that she's helped grow more than anything is your property tax bill. Until this year, every year she's been in office, she has raised the rate of your property taxes. And if she'd gotten her way, there would have been another rate increase this year. She has also pushed forward with projects that voters have already rejected at the ballot box, such as replacing City Hall and building an overpriced and wasteful Civic Center vanity project. Her ego knows no bounds. Thankfully, we do have a leader on City Council that is actually standing up for the taxpayers. Councilman Cole Stanley is the reason why Amarillo property owners are getting the first tax rate cuts in over a decade. But he couldn't have done it alone. Alex Fairley has led the charge, suing the city to stop Ginger Nelson from bringing back the Civic Center vanity project from the dead. There's also Tom Sherlin, who has worked to educate voters about Ginger Nelson's failings. I hope that when Amarillo heads to the ballot box to choose a new mayor and city council in May, that actual leaders like Alex Fairley and Tom Sherlin will be running to join Cole Stanley and Save Amarillo. But we also cannot pretend that our issues are limited to our city government. Potter County Judge Nancy Tanner wasted taxpayer dollars to landscape an empty lot downtown, and then she decided that she wanted a new courthouse, so she bulldozed over that landscaping and is building a shiny new courthouse. I wonder if that's where Ginger Nelson got the idea to build a shiny new city hall. But don't ask Nancy Tanner about that whole mess on Facebook. She'll just block you. Apparently, being concerned about where your tax dollars are being spent is enough to get censored. Thankfully, Nancy Tanner does have an opponent in November, write-in candidate Tom Warren. As a successful local business owner, Tom Warren knows how to stick to a budget and make financially responsible decisions. Now, when you get to the ballot box, don't be fooled by that R next to Nancy Tanner's name. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing that R stands for is Rhino, because the only candidate actually endorsed by the Potter County GOP chair is write-in candidate Tom Warren. Learn more about Tom Warren's candidacy at votetomwarren.com. But we also cannot forget about Amarillo ISD. Earlier this year, the school board made history by pushing the biggest tax hike package they've ever put onto the ballot. But voters also made history, and for the first time in AISD history, voters rejected a bond at the ballot box. And they didn't just reject one bond, they rejected all 4 tax hikes on the ballot. We need to bring fiscal responsibility not just to Potter County and not just to Amarillo City Council, but in May, we need to bring fiscal responsibility to the school board. Looking at the problems that our city is facing, I can't help but think of this quote from the legendary economist Friedrich Hayek. It used to be the boast of free men that, so long as they kept within the bounds of the known law, there was no need to ask anybody's permission or to obey anybody's orders. It is doubtful whether any of us can make this claim today. We could continue to choose to follow the path of failed big government agendas like the ones pushed by Ginger Nelson, Nancy Tanner, and the Amarillo ISD board. Or we could choose to follow real leaders like Cole Stanley, Alex Fairley, Tom Sherlin, and Tom Warren. Amarillo, the state of the city is in your hands. We can continue down a path of tax and waste, or we can become a new shining city on the hill from atop the Llano Estacado. God bless Amarillo, God bless Texas, and God bless the United States of America.